Welcome to Friday Night Lights down here in Clark County. We are at McKenzie Stadium to watch Heritage Timberwolves and the Kelso Highlanders tonight. I'm Ryan Vassbrenner. I'm here with Kyle Bleeke. Thank you for joining in at Comcast Channel 328 and online at the EPS YouTube channel. Welcome to all of you watching from those platforms. Kyle, tonight we got a great game. Kelso's sitting 5-1. Heritage is 6-0 for the first time in school history. We've got a great matchup tonight.
Battle of the unbeatens in the gameplay so far. One of these teams will continue on that trek. The other is going to join Evergreen at 2-1. We're going to find out which one is which here fairly soon. Again, like you mentioned, Heritage 6-0 for the first time in school history. Incredible.
It is incredible. Their defense has really been the story this year, as they're going to start the game on defense as they kick the ball off, but they haven't allowed more than 14 points in a single game this season. And then on top of that, I mean, they've had 3 shutouts in 5 games. They've allowed either 7 points or fewer. So
wow. Their
defense has certainly been on a roll. Kelso is a football team that can certainly move the ball. They love to run the football, and so we'll see which team breaks tonight.
Yeah, this is going to be very, very interesting. Historically, Kelso has always put up good numbers. We're going to see if that continues.
And that's going to be Zayden Hoover with the return. He brings it out right to the 29-yard line, as Kelso is going to go ahead and start off with the football. The quarterback for the Highlanders is going to be number 2, Anders Dahl. They typically run a 2-back system between Blake Larwick and Mason Munson.
And it looks like Anders Dahl has a younger brother, a couple years younger, Owen Dahl. Looks to be the backup. So Dahl's just running the show here at Kelso for the, I guess this will be the last year for Anders and then a couple more years for Owen.
Dahl hands the ball off to Mason Munson. Munson not able to get much out of that. In fact, it's going to be a loss of 1. That brings up 2nd and 11.
And just like you mentioned, there is the Heritage defense that we can keep an eye on. Defensive line just really, really already pushing Kelso around on that first play. Kelso on pace for not a single positive yard gain this whole game after one play.
Dahl keeps this one. He rolls out to the right. He finds his target, his tight end. That was Kyle McCreary. And that's going to be enough for a first down.
Yeah, Kelso now all of a sudden on pace for huge gains on half of their plays. Inside Heritage territory. 1st and 10 from the Timberwolves 49.
Dahl keeps this one. He fires it out to the sideline. He finds his receiver. That was Zayden Hoover.
Traylon McGraw on the tackle. It is going to be a little bit too little too late. First down, Kelso. One thing to note, we've seen a lot of tall players out there. Kelso not a team with many guys over 6 foot.
Dahl keeps this one. He tries to find a hole up the middle, and he's going to get stuffed right at the line of scrimmage.
Anders Dahl stands at 5'11". Got Zayden Hoover, named Ryan has mentioned a couple times already, 5'9". A lot of these players that are going to make a difference for Kelso are going to be on the less tall side. Let's see how that plays out here. One to watch out for, number 6 for Kelso, Alex Dieter.
Dahl hands this one off to Munson. Munson breaks his way out through the corner. He finds his sideline. He's going to get brought down inside the 20-yard line. And the Highlanders are in the red zone for the first time tonight.
I'm seeing here number 20 for Kelso. Some of these names, man, are just some incredible names. There's a gentleman named Good Enough Addy. Here's Dahl again in shotgun.
Dahl keeps this one. He makes his way up the middle. He's going to get hit right at the line of scrimmage. Ball pops loose, but they are going to go ahead and call him down.
Yeah, and this is something you mentioned early on too, Ryan, just the ground and pound game plan from Kelso, which has been part of that system for honestly decades.
Yeah, Mason Munson has checked out. Rutherford has checked in at the halfback position. Rutherford will take this one, tries to bounce it out to the outside. He finds a hole, and he's going to get enough for a touchdown. And the Highlanders strike first, and that puts 6 up on the board.
Yeah, 15-yard run there for Zephaniah Rutherford. That Heritage defense, like you mentioned, only giving up 7 points in games throughout the year already. 7 points total. They're already down 6-0, pending an extra point attempt. 3.5 minutes into the game.
Yeah, Jay Waddle is going to be the one to attempt the extra point. The hold is good. The kick is good, and that puts another one up on the board. That brings the total to 7. Here we're going to see a replay of that run by Rutherford. Rutherford just turns the corner. He's able to fight through a tackle right near the 7-yard line. He breaks through, and he gets into the end zone for 6.
I love the patience he showed there, too. Waited for the seam to open up and then took advantage of it.
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking. I mean, Heritage's defense has been the one that really has been winning them football games. And Kelso just really kind of picked them apart on the first drive of tonight.
Yeah, and the nice thing for Heritage, too, having so many shutouts, keeping the points off the board for the opposing team is I can't imagine they've trailed much during the season at all. So this is going to be very interesting to see how their offense responds behind here.
Waddle gets ready to kick this one away. The lone receiver for the Timberwolves is going to be Traylon McGraw. McGraw does field it. He tries to bounce out to the outside. He's going to run into some traffic, and ultimately he is brought down right at the 24-yard line. Kelso was trying to say that the ball was fumbled, but the white hat confirms McGraw was down. Heritage is going to go ahead and start this drive at their own 24. All right. Owen Daly, the quarterback for the Timberwolves, is going to go ahead and hand this ball off. That was Emmanuel Daniel. And he's going to get stopped for no gain, and we're going to see 2nd and 10.
Parker Stewart on the tackle there.
Owen Daly running the play in from the sideline. Looks like we had an issue with the play clock, so the officials are going to work to get that set. And it's now counting down from 20. Daly trying to find Traylon McGraw. Looks like the route might have been misread. A little bit of confusion. As McGraw was cutting inside and the ball was thrown towards the sideline.
Yeah, it almost looked like Kelso was bearing down on him. He had to make a decision, and not necessarily the correct one. Clock is continuing to run on an incomplete.
Daly drops back. This time finds Jacob Karpiuk.
Going to get real close to the first down marker on fourth down.
They're going to spot it right at the 35. They're going to give it to him. That's going to move the chains.
10 yards exact on the gain. All right, Heritage, 1st and 10 on their own 35.
Daly's got Daniel in the backfield. Hands it off to his halfback. Daniel trying to find his way through the middle. Runs into a little bit of traffic. He's going to pick up a gain of 2.
We're going to have an official timeout.
Like there was illegal motion, so that's going to go against Heritage. It's going to back them up 5. We're going to replay first down. We're looking at 1st and 15.
The lefty Daly back in shotgun. 3 receivers at the top of your screen.
Daly dropping back under pressure. He's going to find Emmanuel Daniel.
Little screen pass, but he is going to get taken out on the Heritage sideline there. Maybe a gain of 2. Second and 13 for the Timberwolves.
Daly keeps this one. He rolls out to his left. He's under pressure. He's going to throw this one up in the air, and that's going to go out of bounds for an incomplete.
I think I did see a flag. It looks like there is one right around the 40-yard line.
You are correct, Kyle.
And another one.
It's like an illegal procedure. The penalty was declined. That brings up 3rd and 13.
We're already halfway through this first quarter. Last game we did see a 3-hour game. This one seems to be breezing by with Kelso sticking to the ground attack and Heritage limiting the passing attack.
Daly fires, trying to find Karpiuk. That's going to fall incomplete. That brings up 4th and long in Timberwolves territory. They're going to bring on the punt team. 4th and 13, Timberwolves sets up the punt.
Another penalty going against Heritage here. Going to make this an even longer punt.
Yeah, it's going to back him up even more.
Not the start you would have wanted if you're head coach Kevin Peterson.
No.
Several penalties, a quick Kelso touchdown. Heritage skies the punt. Fair catch is going to bring Kelso right around the midfield mark.
So the Highlanders are going to go ahead and take this ball over at right at the 50-yard line. Looks like that penalty on the Timberwolves was delayed game, so that's what backed them up 5.
Heritage band having some fun out there. And here's a good look at the Heritage defense. Quick throw out wide.
That's Zayden Hoover, not able to go anywhere.
Braden Oster going to bring him back for a loss of 1.
We will see what Anders Dahl can do, sitting 2nd and 11. And we're going to have a timeout for Heritage. Sounds like Heritage needs to get a few things just organized and set into place.
A little, even more confusion out here. Coach tells his team to step away for a second. That is going to burn a Heritage timeout, is what it seems like. All right, set 2nd and 11 for the Highlanders. And just kidding, we're gonna redo the timeout.
Huh.
Not exactly sure what happened there.
Me either, Kyle. Well, we got a timeout. Highlanders are coming out, 2nd and 11.
All right, now we're ready here.
All
2nd
right.
11, Kelso.
Anders Dahl, he's got a 2-back set between Larwick and Munson. And that's going to be offside on the Timberwolves. That's going to give Kelso. I thought it was on the Timberwolves, but Kelso's backing up like it's a false start.
It seems as if we have thrown every rule.
It is
out,
a false start.
And I'm not sure. It is going to be a false start. We're just
2nd and 16.
we'll play.
We're trying to get this play done.
Yeah. We'll get there.
All right.
And
Ball's ready.
Here we go.
And he hands it off to Munson. Munson tries to cut back up inside, and he's going to get stopped at the line of scrimmage. That's going to bring up 3rd and long.
That play right there kind of defines both teams' strategies here. Kelso is going to ground and pound consistently. They're going to avoid the big passing plays. And Heritage, their defense, like you mentioned, very, very strong. They're going to find these losses and make Kelso pay for little mistakes. Clock is going to continue to run. 4:15 left in the first quarter. Highlanders up 7-0.
Anders Dahl drops back. He's looking downfield here on 3rd and long. Under pressure, he does find his big tight end, Kyle McCreary. But it's only going to be a gain of about 5, and that's going to bring up 4th and 12. The Highlanders are going to go ahead and bring out their punt team.
Heritage, Traylon McGraw back to receive the kick here.
The punter for Kelso appears to be Zayden Hoover, which is also the punt returner and a wide receiver. Punts off, and it's going to take a big Kelso bounce, and it's going to be fielded by McGraw. McGraw's able to go ahead and get about 5 yards out of it, trying to surprise Kelso.
And then gets surprised by about 9 of them that are ready to take him down there.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Timberwolves on their own 28-yard line. So we're sitting 3:12 left in this first quarter.
Yeah, Kelso ready to rock here too. Let's see Zach Williams on the line. We've got Big Joe White, number 76, also out there. Number 3, Zayden Hoover, the punter, the kick returner, the man of many hats.
That's a bad snap. Owen Daly's able to go ahead and scoop it off the turf, but has no choice but to fall forward. Looks like he took a bit of a hit in doing so.
Yeah, Kainoa Feely there with the tackle. But that is going to be a Heritage player down. You can see Devon Granville getting warmed up here on the sideline.
He is the backup. Granville, a junior.
We've seen Granville play before, too. Definitely a different pace setter for the Timberwolves. More of a mobile quarterback. Owen Daly walking off under his own power. We are going to get Granville on the field for at least a play or two.
All right, well, we are looking at 2nd and 12 as Granville takes over. Granville going with a diamond set up at the top of your screen. Empty backfield. Granville keeps this one, goes right up the middle. He's going to get a gain of about 3.
That's what we mentioned, too. He's going to run first, but he is not incapable of throwing the ball either.
This time we've got a injury timeout for a Kelso player.
Jonathan Morales Flores, I believe that is. If that is Parker Stewart for Kelso, that is going to be a big loss. He's a huge X factor on the defensive line.
You know, Kyle, I didn't want to bring this up, but I feel like I need to. What did you say about 10 minutes ago in real time, but like 60 seconds at game time?
Are you thinking I cast or jinxed it?
I think you did. I think you did.
Something about this quarter breezing by, yada yada, something along.
Yeah. Well, that's great news to see Parker Stewart up and making his way towards the sideline. Hopefully that young man's just got a bit of a stinger and he's all right and he's able to return. But here we go. We've got Devon Granville. Traylon McGraw lined up just to his right.
Heritage facing third down here.
Granville looks to try to find McGraw out of the backfield. Throw just off the mark as it sails out of bounds. That brings up 4th and 6. And the punt team's going to come out for the Timberwolves.
Yeah, I like the thought there. They nearly caught Brady Snaza sleeping, but just to the wrong side shoulder of the receiver there. Timberwolves preparing to punt.
The punter for the Timberwolves, Omar Ramirez, gets this one away.
Just in time, too.
And it takes a Timberwolves bounce, and it's going to be downed. Looks like right at the 29-yard line. So the Highlanders are going to come out and start their drive on their 29. They are currently in the lead 7-0 with 2:17 remaining in the first quarter.
Tale of two halves in this first quarter, which is an eighth of the game. First half really flew by. Second half, we don't have to point fingers or name names, but is really slogged by with...
I would never. Anders Dahl set up as quarterback for the Highlanders, sends his receiver in motion. He does hand that ball off. That was to Trevin Roller, and that's ultimately going to be for a loss.
Ahmed Keita on the tackle. And that's another loss for Kelso. It really seems like that first drive may have just been nerves for Heritage, because the last couple drives where Kelso's had the ball, they have really not been able to do anything against this Timberwolves defense.
Yeah, the Timberwolves defense has really stepped up after that first drive for Kelso. Kelso's having to absolutely fight for every single yard that they can gain.
Yeah, Jacob Karpiak takes him down. I'm really impressed with the tackling capabilities of Heritage. Not a ton of, if any, missed tackles outside of that first drive, but Heritage really, when they get an arm on him, they do not let go.
Yeah, that 3-yard run by Mason Munson brings up 3rd and 9. And we're going to get a timeout taken by Kelso. 54 seconds left in the first quarter. That leaves Kelso with 1 timeout remaining.
Third and 9 here. Highlanders with the lead.
All right, coming out of the timeout, Anders Dahl has Rutherford lined up. Dahl drops back. He's looking out wide. He finds Zayden Hoover. Hoover tries to make it to the outside. He gets enough for a first down. He's going to move the chains as he went out of bounds right at the 47-yard line.
And yeah, I know that was a big gain, but Braden Oster, again, with a good tackle there. Gets a couple hands on him and able to not let go. Could have been much, much worse had he gotten loose because no other Timberwolves were anywhere close.
Yeah, that's a great catch by Hoover. And Oster just there to just throw him out of bounds. All right, Dahl with 3 halfbacks in the backfield. This time he hands it off to the big guy, Kenoa Philly.
And even there, too, Joshua Cottle corralled him and did not let go. Even though it took a couple other Heritage players to bring him down.
All right, and that is going to be the end of the first quarter. We are going to go ahead and swap sides as we move into the second. Philly, a senior, standing 5'11", 235. As a running back, that's a massive running back.
Yeah, that's scary. That is scary.
That's almost fullback material.
Yeah, I'm not
sure.
sure.
Run fullbacks anymore.
I'm not sure what you do. If you're trying to get to the quarterback and you see that bowling ball coming at you, I'm not sure how you defend that. Hopefully we get a few more examples here because I'm curious how Heritage's stout defense handles that.
Yeah, it looks like Philly has checked out of the game. Warwick and Munson. Also, Leo Drumel Tarkes in the backfield for Kelso. Dahl pitches this one out to Munson. Munson tries to break around the corner. He's going to go ahead and get a few. Is it going to be enough for the first down?
Looks like they are going to mark him short.
Just a yard short. That's going to bring up 3rd and 1.
Oster again, though, got 2 hands on him and just forced him outside. And Heritage really, really limiting those missed tackles. If you're a ground and pound team, too, like Kelso, you're going to need to force them.
Dahl has Philly behind him. Philly this time tries to break around the corner. And he's going to get enough for the first down.
Yeah, that's going to be automatic for 3 if Kelso decides to stick with that strategy. That's just not going to... I'm just not sure how you stop that.
I'm out of ideas.
I think he's only ran twice, and Heritage is like, well...
What do we do?
Yeah. Looks like he is going to stay on the field, though.
First and 10. This time Dahl drops back. He finds Carter Huntley. And Huntley's going to be chased out of bounds, but not before he gets a first down.
KJ Clark gets him out, but like Ryan said, moving the chains here. He's going to stop the clock as well. Kelso out to the 32-yard line, looking to extend their lead.
Philly heads downhill, and he's going to go ahead and pick up, looks like 6. Brings up 2nd and 4. Philly checks out of the game. In comes Brady Snazza. Swap out a few personnel, so that brings out another receiver. As the Highlanders line up with 3 receivers for this play. Dahl hands this one off to Larwick. Larwick not able to make any progress, loses a yard. That brings up 3rd and 5.
Now this is a big play for Kelso. I am seeing Owen Daly kind of walking around on the sideline as well. I'm curious to see if he comes back in or if we're going to stick with Granville for the Heritage quarterback. For now, we're going to look at Kelso back here with Daly.
That's a bad snap by the Highlanders. Dahl's able to pick it up. He's scrambling. He does find his receiver. That's going to be number 6, Alex Dieter, and he makes it into a touchdown. That puts another 6 points up on the board for the Kelso Highlanders. A bad snap turns into a broken play, turns into a touchdown, and a little bit of fortune goes the Highlanders' way.
Yeah, it seems like we are full of caster curses because we talked about the missed tackles. We talked about the Heritage defense not giving up, and it looks like Kelso able to force a missed tackle there, and nobody within maybe 60 yards of that receiver.
Jay Waddle for the extra point. It is up, and it is good. That's going to bring the total to 14. 14 for the Highlanders to Heritage 0. Here's the broken play. Dahl's able to go ahead and pick this up, break a tackle, and scramble towards the outside. He ultimately finds Alex Dieter wide open right around the 15-yard line.
Yeah,
and there's no one around him.
Nope, that's automatic. Great heads-up play there from Kelso. Typically, too, if you're a quarterback, you just fall on that ball, right?
Yeah.
But excellent heads-up play there to not only get it while running, but also find the man wide open and get a score off of that one. And Kelso saying, Heritage, how do you like it? We've seen you pitch some shutouts here lately. Heritage not loving the taste of their own medicine here.
No,
Kelso.
Heritage needs to find something offensively.
Back to kick again is Jay Waddle, junior kicker.
Back to receive for the Timberwolves, Traylon McGraw. McGraw looks to field this. He does pick it up around the 8-yard line. McGraw trying to create some space and is unsuccessful. The Timberwolves are going to start this drive from their 15-yard line.
Kainoa Feely takes him down back there. Right at the 15.
does like the Timberwolves are sticking with Devon Granville as their quarterback. Three receiver set. Granville does hand this one off, though, to his halfback, and there's going to be no gain. Even a loss of 1 brings up 2nd and 11.
Heritage defense really getting a stern talking to on the sideline over here about that Highlander being wide open on that last score. Coaching staff not thrilled about that one. Granville still in.
Daniel in the backfield. Granville looks to find Dakari Bradford. That's going to be a gain of, looks like 6. Brings up 3rd and 5. Granville hands this one off to Daniel again. Daniel tries to get across the corner.
A couple of pirouettes out there. Ultimately, no gain. Well, maybe a yard there.
Yeah, a gain of 1. It brings up 4th and 4, deep into their own territory. Yeah, and they are going to go ahead and bring out the punt team. Punter Omar Ramirez will be punting from about his own 9-yard line. And that is almost blocked, but it is going to go ahead and draw a flag. I think Heritage is going to go ahead and get this football back.
Yeah, yellow laundry all over the field out here. One at midfield, one back around the 10.
I think we've got a roughing the kicker penalty down here on the 11. It might have been a hold closer to the 50-yard line. So it's ultimately going to go ahead and be a first down for the Timberwolves. Timberwolves lucking out there. Here's a replay. Yeah, just coming through Ramirez as he gets the ball off. That's going to draw a flag every time.
We do have Granville back on the field here.
So the Timberwolves are going to start the ball, or not start it, but continue their drive. Ball's going to be placed on the 36-yard line, so that's a big penalty for Kelso.
Diamond receiver set, but more confusion down here.
Granville looks to McGraw. McGraw is able to make his way around the corner, and he's going to get shoved out of bounds right at the 45-yard line.
Heritage wanted a face mask call there, but they're not going to get it.
It's going to bring up 2nd and 1.
Couple of screen passes for Granville and the Timberwolves. Working all right here. Diamond formation moves to the top of your screen now. Let's see if they run the same play just on the opposite side of the field. Kelso knew it was coming. That ball's live.
They are calling it incomplete. With that diamond formation, what they're doing is they're sending those 3 receivers out almost as blockers to give McGraw just a little bit of time and space to make the catch.
Yeah, and you can tell, too, that is... Kelso caught on after the first one.
Yeah.
They had somebody there ready to get it.
We've got 4 flags on the field, 1 in hand. Figure out if they all saw the same thing. It might have been unsportsmanlike. It is unsportsmanlike conduct on Heritage.
Yeah, usually when there's 4 flags out there,
there's two guilty parties. Here we go. Here's the replay.
So we're going to throw it right around the line.
You're right. That could have been.
That's right on the line. You know, that's one of those 50-50 calls that's probably not worth getting a flag over, but refs are saying, everybody chill out. Heritage going to gather their composure along with Kelso, and we're looking at 2nd and 1 here. One thing you have to credit Heritage for week after week, this crowd is into it consistently.
Yeah, I mean, it's an exciting time to be a student. I mean, this is the first time your team has been 6-0 in school history. That's a big deal.
Yeah, and it's not like Heritage has been around since, for a couple years. Heritage has been around since the dawn of dinosaurs.
I don't know if they've been around that long. They were the newer school when I was in school, and I graduated in 05. So, I mean, but still, they've been around 25 years, if not a little bit longer. We are 3rd down, 3rd and 1. All right, and I think we're ready to play. Granville's got McGraw just off to his left. He hands it off to McGraw. McGraw takes this one up the middle. It is going to be enough for a 1st down. They're going to give him forward progress to the 47, and that's going to move the chains.
A slew of Highlanders there, able to limit how far he goes. That is going to be Leo Drumal tow cars that got to him first. 1st down here, Heritage. Looking to get on the board.
We've got delay of game on the Timberwolves, so that's going to go ahead and back them up 5. They're going to be facing 1st and 15.
That's a backbreaker for Heritage, who is made of living off of these little 3-4 yard gains. Since Owen Daly went out, you just added 5 more yards.
Yeah, I mean, that's been the 3rd delay of game penalty we've seen on the Timberwolves tonight. Granville hands this one off to the tailback. That was Emmanuel Daniel. Looks like he's going to pick up about 2 or 3, and that takes it to 2nd and 12.
Looked like Zach Williams and Big Joe White first to get to him, and they both come off the field here.
This ball picked up off the turf. He is able to go ahead and get it to McGraw. But it's ultimately going to be a loss of about 3.
Alex Dieter gets to him first. Does not let go. Third down. 3rd and 15 here.
Granville struggling. I don't know if it's the snap counts or something's just not quite right.
Well, throughout the game, Heritage just doesn't seem to have the rhythm. There's been several miscommunicated plays, delay of games.
Yeah, something's just not clicking. This one's sent out to Daniel. Daniel stumbles, and he's going to pick up a gain of 1. That brings up 4th down, 4th and 14.
Yeah, Heritage so far seems unprepared and undisciplined, but we're going to see if that changes here. They are going to punt it away. Back to receive Zayden Hoover, number 3 for the Highlanders.
Ramirez gets the punt off. This one's going to take Heritage bounce. It is going to be fielded right at the 12 by Hoover. Hoover cuts up through the middle. There's a flag on the play on the near side. Hoover makes his way to the sideline. He's ultimately going to go ahead and get brought down at the 47-yard line. We'll see if this comes back.
Adam Friedendahl able to take him down, but not after a big gain there on what initially looked like a pretty risky return.
Does look like this is going to be holding on the Highlanders, so we'll see where they go ahead and spot this football.
Looks like they're going to bring it back to the 20 here. First time in a while the Kelso offense has taken the field.
Looks like we got training staff tending to one of the officials. He gets back out there. And this ball is going to be spotted at the 10-yard line, so foul occurred on the 20. So Kelso is going to take over on their own 10, 1st and 20. I'm sorry, 1st and 10.
All right, 3:05 left in the first half. 14-0 Highlanders over the Timberwolves.
Dahl hands this one off to Munson. Munson gets around the corner, but it's not going to be for a gain. It's ultimately a loss. We're looking at 2nd and 11.
Keep in mind, too, this is the most amount of points Heritage has allowed all season, correct?
Yeah, it's tied for the most. Heritage has not allowed over 14 points in a game.
We're still in the first half, too.
I mean, there's been moments where the Heritage defense has really shown up and really been impressive. But those
Absolutely.
2 drives, Kelso was just able to pick them apart. This one picked up off the turf. Dahl unable to find Dieter over the middle.
And once again, the clock is continuing to run. They paused it here about 10 seconds after that pass fell incomplete. 2:08 now in the first half. There's a good look at the Heritage Band.
Dahl has Munson in the backfield. And then he's got 2 wide, 2 slot receivers. Another snap Dahl had to pick off the ground, but ultimately this is whistled dead.
Looks like it's going to be a delay of game against Kelso. Yeah, several of those tonight.
So that's going to back them up, looks like right to the 4-yard line.
Third and long.
Yeah, 3rd and 16. Dahl hands this one off to Munson. Munson trying to be patient, find a seam. Looks like he gets a gain, a short gain. But that's ultimately going to bring up 4th down.
Kelso going 4 and out here. They will be punting to Heritage. Quick 4 and out too. And that's what Heritage, that defense is capable of, is just completely taking an offense out of the game. Yeah, and really, the first drive, you know, you can chalk it up to nerves.
Sure.
You can just chalk it up to coming in a little cold to the game. Second score for Kelso. Somebody wide open. You know, all it takes is one person just to, hey, we got him. And,
yeah,
give up for half a second.
And that's what second score for Kelso, I mean, it was made on a broken play. I mean, a ball was snapped, it hit the turf. Dahl was able to pick it up and scramble out of really taking a big loss, and he found an open man.
Sure, so if you're the Heritage coach right now, God, you got to tidy things up a little bit, but we're so close, too. So close.
Hoover, the punter for the Highlanders, in his own end zone. He's able to get the punt off. And that punt was ultimately bobbled by McGraw. We'll see who ends up with this football.
This is going to be a strange play because there was a roughing the kicker flag as well, a flag in the end zone. But it looks like Kelso recovered this punt as well.
They did call roughing the kicker.
If Kelso can deny the penalty,
I think the question here is, did Kelso recover the punt? So the penalty is declined. It is going to be first down for Kelso at the 39-yard line. They did recover that punt. Here's a replay of it. We'll see Hoover getting hit. He just gets ran into.
right on the back foot too, man.
Then right here, Traylon McGraw, he does drop it, and it is ultimately recovered by Kelso.
Victor Zhumaniyazov. You want to give that one a go? Number 42 for Kelso.
I think he did a great job.
Victor, number 42 for Kelso, recovers that punt and gives Kelso another shot here just before halftime.
So it looks like they tacked on another 10. They move the spot of the ball into Heritage territory to the 46.
And the Heritage coach looking for some clarification here. They may have added the 10 yards from the roughing the kicker penalty is the only thing I can think of.
That would have been a 15-yard penalty. Regardless, it's 1st and 10 from the Heritage 46.
Maybe the refs are just being nice.
Dahl decides to keep this one. And he fires long, trying to find Munson. And that ball is going to go incomplete.
Yeah, no flags on the play. And the clock continued to trickle there as well after that pass fell incomplete, stopping maybe 15 seconds. 1:18 left in the first half. We're going to give 2nd down a shot here. We're going to reset the clock here to 1:27 is what it looks like. Dahl gets taken down for a loss of what seems to be 7. It's number 70, Max Darby, that is down for Kelso. Looks to be in some major pain out there. Hopefully he's all right. Once again, if you're tuning in, we appreciate you being here with us on the 2nd of 2 tonight. First game we saw Evergreen and Prairie, with Evergreen emerging victorious. Tonight we're looking at Kelso with a 14-0 lead over Heritage before halftime. We are getting some additional staff out here to tend to Darby. Kelso really in control of this game so far here. Although the Heritage defense has really been firm. Quarterback for the Highlanders, Anders Dahl, has been under pressure ever since the second drive tonight. I'd love to see that too. Darby able to walk off under his own power. Heritage ready to take the field. Kelso looking at 3rd and long with 76 seconds left here in the first half. All right, back to action here. 3rd and 17 for Kelso. Dahl hands it off. There's a flag. That's Kainoa Feely for a gain of about 10, but a large portion of that is going to be, looks like a holding against Kelso right at the 47-yard line. Going to push them deeper into their own territory when they started the drive inside Heritage. It's going to be 3rd and capital Long. Kelso brought all the way back to their own 37. Third and 27 now. Dahl hands it off. And Feely stays on his feet, dragging a handful of Timberwolves around. And we've got another Highlander down. This is Bradley Jerome, but hops up. All right, 4th down coming up for Kelso. Gain of 0 on that last play. Back to their 37. 17 seconds left here before halftime. Clock is going to roll. And Kelso is content taking that to halftime. $14-0 Highlanders over the Timberwolves. Both defenses looking pretty strong here in the first half. We're going to toss that over to the halftime crew to talk some stats.
Halftime show where the Kelso Highlanders lead the Heritage Timberwolves 14-0. Very disjointed game.
It is, yeah. I mean, Heritage came out, and there's been moments where the defense has looked like the defense we have seen all year, but there's also been moments where they're completely disjointed, like you said. They're unorganized. They're not quite sure what's going on, especially on offense. You've lost Owen Daly. I don't know if he's coming back for the second half. They're starting quarterback, and so they've got to be able to get on the same gameplay page to figure out how they're going to answer to this Highlander team.
Well, and when we say disjointed, it's proven by the fact that how many delay of game penalties have gone against the T-Wolves.
Yeah, there's 3 or 4, and there shouldn't be this many delay of game penalties this late into the season.
Well, and as far as Kelso is concerned, they've got 2 touchdowns, and they have been playing a lot of penalty football as well. We've had roughing the kicker calls on both sides of the field. We've had unsportsmanlike conduct. Not that they're, I'm not saying it's all Heritage that's disjointed,
right.
But Kelso is somehow up.
Yeah.
By 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, Kelso came out strong, and they scored on their first drive. That's something that not a lot of teams can say that they've scored on Heritage this year.
Right.
And so they come down, score in the first drive, and then they pick up another touchdown off really a broken play. It's a snap that was picked up off the turf, and they found Munson, in the middle of the field, wide open for a touchdown. So it's one of these things where it's just there hasn't been a lot of great football on either side of the ball tonight, but somehow Kelso's found their way to be up by two touchdowns.
Okay, let's just start with the Heritage Chalk Talk. What do you tell these guys at halftime?
Back to basics, figure things out. I mean, snap counts, you got to figure out delay of game penalties. Hopefully you can get Owen Daly back. I was watching for him on the sidelines. He still has his helmet. He's standing there. So we'll see if he comes in or whether it's the backup for the rest of the night tonight. But, I mean, it's really to every single person, do your job.
Kelso's obviously up by, a series of fortunate accidents.
Yeah.
That first touchdown was on their first drive. Great drive. But what's the Kelso Chalk Talk sound like?
I think Kelso needs to do what they've done. They've done the same thing for the past 30 years, and that's run the football.
Yeah.
Run the football,
That's
get a
a
yard or
running
two
team.
at a time, run the clock down. You're up by 2. I don't think this is going to be a high-scoring game by any means in the second half.
Right.
So if you can control the clock, you're going to win the football game.
All right, well, we are beginning our first of 3 weeks of EPS Sports Friday Night Football coverage, so we will be back next Friday and the following Friday. A lot of consternation about the game at the end of the month. It was originally scheduled for October 30th, and it will be moved to October 31st, Halloween. We'll get as many of the crew here to bring those games to you live. But right now, I want to tell you about the digital arts students at Heritage High School. They are beginning their second year of creating stop-motion animation films. They originally got the inspiration from a visiting educator from Australia, and they decided to make a stop-motion animation film about 2 Bigfoot who become friends.
See, that's where the forest grows thick and the trees are bigger. That's Bigfoot country down there.
I remember hearing a story about an Australian Bigfoot when I was a kid who might have ended up out this way.
How about that? Well, how did that?
Once upon a time,
Okay.
in a place in Western Australia called the Pinnacles, there lived a creature. All hairy, long-armed, big eyes, big teeth, and as the name indicates, big feet. Some say it is a beauty to the desert. To me, it's always just seemed hot, dry, and unforgiving. The Australian Bigfoot didn't mind it so much, but it was pretty lonely. It hadn't seen another Bigfoot ever. Just the occasional kangaroo, emu, bellbird, spinifex hopping mouse, and python.
What's a spinifex hopping mouse?
Dinner for a python. One day, it mixed some of the red sand with water and made paste. And with the paste, it wrote a message on a boomerang. It held the boomerang as hard as it could, and for once in its life, hoped it wouldn't come back. It flew and flew and flew, past Uluru, right over the Sydney Opera House, across the Great Barrier Reef, and right across the Pacific Ocean.
Across the ocean? How though?
I reckon magic, one assumes.
Right.
Anyways, as I was saying, across the Pacific Ocean, under the Astoria Bridge, through the San Juan Islands, past the Space Needle, over Old Town.
That route doesn't even make sense. It's flying everywhere. North, south, east, west. That's not even how a boomerang flies. Ah, magic again?
On a serious? Finally, the boomerang flew into the thick forest of the Pacific Northwest and wham! Hit the head of an unsuspecting North American Bigfoot. The forest, as you well know, can be its own type of unforgiving. Rain, wind, cold, But the North American Bigfoot didn't mind it so much. But it was pretty lonely, just the occasional black-tailed deer, owl, tree frog, and timber wolf. So when it read "Friend Wanted," the reply came quickly. It grabbed some berries and wrote back. It hurled it back as hard as it could. Off it flew. Old Town, Space Needle, San Juan Islands, Astoria Bridge, across the Pacific Ocean, Great Barrier Reef, Sydney Opera House, Uluru, and back to the pinnacles. The Australian Bigfoot was overjoyed.
Magic again.
Precisely. It finally had a mate, a pen pal of sorts, a friend. Back and forth they wrote messages and threw the boomerang to one another, forming a friendship and bond. They talked about anything and everything, what they had in common and what was unique to Australia and the Pacific Northwest. One day the North American Bigfoot had an idea, and it invited the Australian Bigfoot to come and visit, oblivious to the idea of distance and just how treacherous such a journey would be.
Couldn't it just use, magic again?
Strangely, no. Anyway, as I was saying, off it flew. Space Needle, San Juan Islands, Astoria Bridge, the Pacific Ocean, to the Great Barrier Reef. Whomp! A great white shark snatched the boomerang and ate it.
Wait, what? That's it?
Ate it whole. Message never arrived. No invite received. Just end of story. By then I should have been asleep anyway.
Well, that's not how I expected it to end at all. That's bittersweet. I mean, I guess there's lessons to be learned about friendship or something.
I don't know, mate. It's just a cautionary tale about looking out for sharks in the reef. Though I suppose it's one of those stories where you can imagine a different last chapter on your own. I always envisaged the Australian Bigfoot had come to know its friend well enough and wanted to see it anyway. It didn't even need the invitation via boomerang. It probably hiked past Uluru, Old Town, right here to Keegan's Theatre. Two friends together, having fun.
I like that ending. Those two are probably out there playing with each other. They don't even have time to interact with us humans. It's magic. It's the magic of friendship.
One assumes.
After recording 3 performances in February as part of their audition, it was during a rehearsal in April when band director Sam Ormson received the news that Mountain View High School's Jazz Band 1 had been invited to perform at the Midwest Clinic.
And I had my phone out because it was playing music, and I opened up the email, and then I saw like the subject line, and it said Midwest Clinic, and I was like, and I had this little moment of don't click on it because what if it's a no? And so but I did, And I read it to them, and they were all, I don't know if they believed me, but I was like, oh, what? We made it? And so everybody was super excited because they had done all this work to prepare and they had worked so hard to create the audition recording. And, they're a hard-working group of kids.
And he was just kind of checking his phone. And then he like stopped talking and just checked his phone. And he read out loud the email. And like everyone was like, oh my goodness, it was so exciting.
Exciting doesn't begin to describe it. The Midwest Clinic is the country's premier music educators conference, and Mountain View's top jazz band is just one of 5 invited to perform at the conference out of hundreds of audition submissions.
Well, so this trip really symbolizes to the jazz program how important it is to have jazz programs in school, because look where it can take you, right? We can go and teach other people how to use their jazz programs in their school. I wouldn't be who I am today without this jazz program,
And the Mountain View Jazz program is a team effort, with director Mark Clausen leading Jazz Band 2 and preparing students for Jazz Band 1.
Personally, I'm really happy just to know that I want to put more into this program, because I know that when they leave me, that they're going to another really great place that they can grow even more from.
And it makes me very, very grateful for my students and for Mountain View and Evergreen that the infrastructure and that what we do is possible. I know it's not just me doing this. It's the students and the families and the other teachers in the district who started these students on their instruments. So it's a very holistic. There are many, many pieces, and we might be the leaves of the tree, but I totally understand the roots and all of those other pieces that went into it. So there's a lot of gratitude for everything we get to do.
Evergreen Public Schools activities levies help fund music programs in our schools, but this trip is beyond what levy funds can pay for. The total cost of the trip to get 20 students, 3 staff members, and 2 parent chaperones to Chicago is about $37,000 for airfare, ground transportation, hotels, and food. The band does have local and national business sponsors, but is looking for more donations to blunt the impact on families.
So it is still a financial burden on those individual students. And they're fundraising as well at the individual level, and they're working hard to do all of that. But it is such an honor that I want it to be possible for all these students.
Trumpet player Claire Hagley says this isn't your run-of-the-mill field trip. They're going to showcase Evergreen Public Schools' outstanding music programs to the world.
It's a lot of things. First of all, Midwest is one of the biggest band clinics in the nation, and there's every state represented. Not only that, but there's international representation. So I think us being one of 4 or 5 jazz bands to be able to perform and showcase music for educators just shows how much our program contributes, and not only in the state but the nation.
If you'd like to help make this once-in-a-lifetime performance possible, you can make a tax-deductible donation at mvim.org/Midwest Clinic and click on the Donate Today button. You can also reach the website with the QR code on your screen. Calling all student athletes in Evergreen and Battleground Public Schools. The Mark Rigo Athletic Scholarship Fund is accepting applications. Mark Rigo was a beloved football and track coach who passed away in 2018, but left behind a legacy. The thousands of student athletes he pushed to become the best versions of themselves and pursue their dreams.
His whole thing was the power of one. If he could just do one thing each day for one person, he's made an impact.
If you are heading to college or a post-secondary trade school and have taken part in sports in Evergreen or Battleground Public Schools, Rigo's legacy can also help offset some of your college costs. To fill out an application and learn more, head over to rigoscholarship.com. Let's keep Coach Rigo's legacy going by helping new generations of students pursue their dreams.
All right, welcome back to Mackenzie Stadium. We are here for the second half of the Heritage Timberwolves versus the Kelso Highlanders. I'm Ryan Vassminer. I've got Kyle Bleake with me. Thank you for those of you tuning in on Comcast Channel 328 and online at the Evergreen Public School District channel on YouTube. Appreciate that. Kyle, we're back. We got some news of kind of some things that had happened in the first half. As you can see on the screen, there is an ambulance over on the Kelso side. We got word that Anders Dahl, the starting quarterback for Kelso, did dislocate an elbow, so he is being replaced by his younger brother. That's Owen Dahl, and so he's going to be taking over. Kelso also lost one of their starting linemen earlier in the game, Parker Stewart. He's out. On the Heritage side of things, their starting quarterback, Owen Daly, left the game early in the first quarter. Now, he hasn't left the sideline. He still has his helmet, so he may make an appearance here in the second half. We'll have to wait to see that, but those are some big key losses for both teams.
It is, yeah. It's going to be interesting to see how both teams respond coming out of the halftime break here. We are going to get a look at the ambulance coming through your screen. Really wishing the best for Anders Dahl, senior. Really hoping it's not his final game. Hopefully he can make a return this season. Kelso up 14-0 here. We have seen Granville for Heritage be the quarterback.
And this kick is going to be redone.
But both teams kind of stalled out. Maybe halfway through that second quarter. We're going to see if either team can find some momentum here.
So that was false start on Kelso, so they're going to be backed up 5. Take the kick again. Back to receive for the Timberwolves is Traylon McGraw, number 1. He stands at the 20-yard line now.
All right, we're going to give this one another go here.
And it's going to be fielded by McGraw at the 18-yard line. He makes his way up through the middle. He's going to run into traffic. And he's going to make it to the 30. So Heritage is going to start third drive at the 30-yard line. It is Granville that makes his way out as quarterback for this first possession of the second half for the Timberwolves.
We're going to see if Heritage can find some momentum here. They really stuck with a lot of screen passes, a lot of runs. After their original quarterback, Owen Daly, went out. Let's see if they stick with that strategy or if they're able to push the ball downfield a little bit.
Granville hands this one off to Daniel. Emmanuel Daniel looks like he's able to go ahead and get a gain of 2. That brings up 2nd and 8.
Zephaniah Rutherford with the tackle there. KJ Clark's going to take a break here just for a single play. Emmanuel Daniel coming onto the field.
All right, Granville's got Daniel just off to his left. He's got a 4-receiver set. He decides to go ahead and keep this one. He makes his way to the outside. He's going to get a gain of about 4. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 4. Granville's got Emmanuel Daniel just off to his left. He does hand this one off this time. Daniel makes his way up the corner. He's going to get enough for a first down. He's going to get brought down right at the 45-yard line, and that's going to move the chains.
Decisive run there for Daniel. Maybe that's trying to get the team hyped up a little bit here. Gets him out to the 45. That's what Heritage needs to get on this board and make it a game here.
Yeah, Daniel showing that he just kind of lowered his shoulders and took off. Granville hands this one off to Daniel as well. Daniel gets popped after gaining a yard. Big hit.
Yeah, Blake Larwick there with the tackle. Gain of 1. Heritage kind of just chewing clock here.
KJ Clark comes into the game, replacing Daniel at the halfback position.
Heritage really with these 4 wideouts have been using them more as blockers than anything else.
Granville looked to pass. He found an open space through the middle, unable to connect with Traylon McGraw.
Pretty fortunate that didn't find any Kelso players, because that ball was up for grabs. Any one of 5 different players on a couple different teams could have had that one.
Shot at Granville there, giving his offensive line some props.
We're going to bring the clock back a little bit.
Officials trying to sort it out.
What? 8 seconds back on the clock here.
All right, and I think we're ready to play. 3rd and 9.
Again, 4 receivers out there for Granville.
Granville finds McGraw. McGraw fighting. We'll see where they go ahead and give him this spot. Looks like they're going to spot him a yard short. That's going to bring up 4th and 1.
Good play there from Granville, though. He's getting chased down by a couple Highlanders and got rid of it as quickly as he could. Gain of 8 for Heritage. We have a timeout. Kelso want to talk this one over and make sure nobody's jumping here.
Yeah, it looks like that's what Heritage was trying to do, trying to get a free 5.
Heritage going to stick with their offense out here. Going to give Granville a shot to convert this 4th and 1.
Yeah, in comes Isaiah James.
I do love the play call here. I think that's the right call.
I think he's just got to go right up the middle. James fights. I think he's going to come up short. They are spotting him short. This is going to be a turnover on downs.
Well played there from Kelso to find him behind the line of scrimmage and take him down early.
Yeah, Kelso's going to go ahead and start this drive on their own 46-yard line. after a big stop against a Isaiah James run.
All right, here's our first official look at Owen Dahl, sophomore quarterback, brother of Anders, taking over here.
Dahl hands this one off to Munson. He's going to be pushed back. They're going to tally that as a loss of 2. That brings up 2nd and 12.
Yeah, we mentioned it time and time again, too. Outside of just a couple plays, that Heritage defense has come to play today.
Dahlguts Landwick. He had Landwick lined up to his left. The ball's ultimately batted down. It's going to be ruled incomplete. That brings up 3rd and 12.
And just another example, too, of that Timberwolf defense, man. 72, Ethan Matlock. Looks like his jersey got torn apart here. Looking for some sort of call. So Ethan Matlock, no longer number 72.
Here's a little trick play. He makes it out to number 3, Zayden Hoover. Zayden Hoover makes his way down the sideline. He's coming back inside. He's got no one in front of him. That's going to be another touchdown for the Kelso Highlanders. A little trickery. I think he's going to get flagged for some unsportsmanlike here with a celebration in the end zone.
It does look like there's a flag around midfield, but I think that one's also going to be unsportsmanlike against Heritage. Both teams getting a little froggy here. What a play, though. What a play call from Kelso.
Yeah, bring out a little trickery. Personal foul on the defense after the play, unsportsmanlike on the offense.
As things stand, that's a 56-yard run there. That is going to be a touchdown, Kelso.
Here's a replay of the little flea flicker. Not flea flicker. It was just a screen, a reverse screen.
Yeah, nothing too crazy about that one, but completely caught Heritage off guard.
Yeah, Hoover ended up having nobody in front of him. That's his 2nd of the night.
Mm-hmm.
The officials trying to figure out where to spot the ball. So it looks like Heritage is asking for the penalty to be applied on the kickoff rather than on the extra point attempt.
Kelso looking to make it 21-0 here.
Jay Waddle for his 3rd extra point attempt of the evening. And the kick is good. And that's going to put 21 up on the board for the Highlanders.
Yeah, and if you're head coach for Kelso, Darren Gardner, bringing out that little play with backup quarterback, you got to be feeling pretty good right now. You just, losing your starting quarterback up 14-0, the lead feels safe, but not safe enough.
Yeah.
But able to add another score with your backup, let's get over that hump and keep pressure. That's got to feel good for coach.
I mean, and at this point, Kelso can do what they've done best for years and years now, and that's just ground and pound the football.
Yep.
Right? And if they can manage the clock and control the clock.
Yeah, make Heritage react, right? Right now they don't have an answer. This is the most amount of points Heritage has allowed this year. If you're Kelso, you force Heritage to make a move. You don't have to adjust anymore. You just do what you do best.
Yeah. All right, and Waddle pooches this one. Heritage is just going to go ahead and fall on it. Looks like that was Travis Darrow who fields that kickoff.
Yeah, fair catch, fell to the ground, and even another Heritage Timberwolf fell on top of him just to make sure we didn't see any shenanigans.
Taking zero chances.
They caught a few glimpses of that game prior where Evergreen fumbled a few onside kicks, and they wanted no part of that. Heritage now near midfield, looking for some answer. Granville's still out there.
KJ Clark in at running back. And that he's got a 4-receiver set. Granville hands this one off to Clark. Clark fights his way through the middle. He's going to get a gain of 5.
Taken down by Big Joe White.
Granville still has Clark in the backfield. Looks like it's actually 2nd and 4. Clark moves into the slot receiver position. Granville's going to go ahead and keep this one. He runs straight up through the middle. He falls forward. And that's going to be enough for a first down. Gain of about 7. That's going to spot the ball on the Kelso 38-yard line.
Yeah, Granville, no hesitation, too. He saw something on that play and took advantage of it. 6.5 left here in the third quarter. Heritage offense humming right now.
Hand it off to Clark. Clark cuts back through the middle. He's going to get a gain of about, looks like 7. Looks like a gain of 6. 2nd and 4.
Yeah, Heritage sees something here. That's 3 decisive runs back to back to back.
Yeah. Emmanuel Daniel in for KJ Clark. Hands it off to Daniel. Daniel tries to break a corner. He does. He breaks a tackle. Looks like they're going to spot him just shy of the first down. That's going to bring up 3rd and 1 for the Timberwolves.
That's 3 different runners, too, for 4 big gains. Let's see if Heritage can keep this up.
Looks like we've got a false start. That's going to back the Timberwolves up 5. It's going to make it 3rd and 6.
Unfortunate timing there for Heritage because that's, just so close again.
Yeah, it is unfortunate. They were starting to get a little bit of momentum. Really changes the play call when you go from 3rd and 1 to 3rd and 6.
Oh, Kelso bringing in everybody here.
Yeah, Daniel had nowhere to go.
Yeah, Trevin Roller immediately in the backfield. Along with Larwick, along with half a dozen other Highlanders.
Everyone.
It's going to bring up 4th down. Heritage just a few moments ago looking at 3rd and 1.
Now they're looking at 4th and 9.
Keeping the offense on the field here. High snap for Granville.
Granville finds his target of Traylon McGraw, and that's going to be enough for a 1st down.
Excellent catch there. Way to keep his eyes on it. And under those circumstances, huge play.
Yeah, I mean, if they didn't convert here, you see Granville. I mean, he knows he's going to McGraw the entire way. He finds him, and he leads him perfectly just beyond the line to gain.
Yeah, great heads-up play there from McGraw, knowing exactly where his feet are, where he needs to be.
KJ Clark checks back in for Emmanuel Daniel. Granville looking long, throws it into a pile of defenders, and it's going to get knocked down and ultimately be called incomplete.
And even that's a great play for Kelso. Instead of going up, trying to get cute and take it away, just smack it down.
Yeah.
Granville coming out. We've got
Owen Daly's coming back in.
Got an Owen Daly sighting here.
There's a little limp to his jog.
Granville saying he's all good on the sideline. Let's see if he comes back in here or if this is Daly's show now.
Daly's got Clark, hands it off to Clark. Clark stumbles, unable to get out of the backfield. That's going to be a loss of 1. That's going to bring up 3rd and 11.
All right, Daly staying on here, 3rd and 11. Clock continuing to run. Already down to 2.5 here in the 3rd quarter.
Daly drops back, finds his target over the middle. That's Jacob Kjarpruk.
Gonna get him close, not close enough. 4th and 3 coming up.
In checks in Isaiah James.
Yeah, Daly not looking 100% out there, but toughing it out for his team.
4th and 2. Hard count doesn't get Kelso to budge. Daly trying to target McGraw.
Not quite.
And that ball's going to be well short.
Yeah, a little miscommunication there again.
McGraw's a little fired up.
What's he saying there, Ryan?
I couldn't read those lips.
Probably for the best.
So that's a turnover on downs. Kelso takes over at their own 19-yard line. Owen Dahl settles in. Sends Munson on the move, and that's going to be, there is a flag thrown on the play. He was ultimately brought down for no gain.
And fired up McGraw, the one on the, involved in the tackle there. Let's see what the refs say here.
All right, so it looks like the penalty, it is a hold on the offense. So that's going to back them up 10. It's going to move it to 1st and 20.
Kelso starting
Not
on
quite
their,
1st and 20. Sorry, Kyle.
That's all right. Kelso starting on their 11-yard line. Not a ton of room for the younger Dahl to work with.
1st and 18. Dahl hands this one off to Munson. Munson fighting his way through the middle. He's going to get a gain of a few.
Another penalty. This one looks like it's going against Kelso.
The way Heritage players are reacting. So personal foul on the offense.
Half the distance to the goal is going to put them at the 6.
So after all of that, we are looking at 2nd and 14 for the Highlanders.
This is going to be more than 14. They got to get out to the 29, so they're looking at what?
Oh, 22.
Yeah, that's a 2nd and deep for Kelso. Pushed back by a couple of silly penalties.
Dahl hands this one off to Munson once again. Munson breaks around the corner. He gets a big gain. It's not going to be, he cuts it almost in the distance almost in half. I'm sorry, that wasn't Munson, that was Rutherford.
Looks like Blake Larwick is coming off the field here. He's tagging himself out. Hopefully he's all right. Leo Drumal Tokars coming on along with a couple other Highlanders. We're going to get what seems to be a timeout for Kelso. All right, 12 seconds left in the third quarter. Kelso use their second timeout. 3rd and
11.
medium.
3rd and medium, I like it.
Yeah. Ryan, thoughts so far? Sort of an awkward dance, right?
It is.
Does it kind of remind you like a prom where like nobody's really sure what to do?
What to do?
Like
there's confusion.
Somebody makes a move and somebody says, it just Both teams kind of doing a weird little awkward dance right now where it's Kelso with a 21 lead, but I don't feel like they've really grasped what could be this game, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. They've done a good job of controlling the clock. Kelso has, but with 12 seconds left in the third quarter, I think there's a still very viable chance that things could happen and Heritage could tie this football game up.
100%. I completely. Well, here we go. This
and
may be our
Heritage
first
calling
example.
for a fumble, and it is Heritage football. They get the fumble recovery. That's going to bring 1st and 10 on the Kelso 21-yard line.
And just like that, that is going to make things very interesting. Here's a good replay.
Yeah, it looks like Owen Dahl just missed the handoff there. He gets hit and he bobbles it.
Reminiscent of the Mark Sanchez butt fumble.
Pretty close.
Kind of ran into the back of one of his own linemen.
That's Granville. He hands it off to KJ Clark. KJ Clark breaks for a run up the middle. That's going to be a big gain. That's going to put them 1st and goal for the first time tonight.
Yeah. First time maybe within the red zone. First time 1st and goal. A lot of firsts for Heritage tonight.
That's going to bring an end to the third quarter as we switch sides.
All right, and just like that, too. Big swing. Big turn of events here. If Heritage finds a way to put some points on the board, this is anybody's game. Yeah, Heritage really felt like the more dominant team that third quarter. Granted, Kelso lost 2 of its more valuable members to injury earlier in the game. But still, you need a team to take advantage of that. And Heritage seems to be doing that. A couple steps forward, maybe a couple steps backward, but right now looking to get on the board.
Yeah, Heritage really needs their leaders to step up right now. I mean, you've got Granville out there. I mean, your quarterback is always going to be a leader, but being second string, you've still got Owen Daly on the sidelines. What can he do to bring his team together? And then you've got Traylon McGraw. I mean, he's been fiery tonight, but he has to use that energy for good to propel his team. I mean, this is an opportunity for Heritage that I don't take back what I said. We could see a tie ball game here by the end that we see zeros. Granville's got KJ Clark. He looks wide. Granville's going to keep it himself. He tries to get it to the outside, cut up the middle, and he's going to get a loss at 2.
Yeah, Granville tried to look wide, but immediately recognized that was not going to work. Took it on himself to try to gain some yards and ended up losing a couple, but certainly better than losing the ball here. 2nd and goal from the 12.
Granville's got 3 wide, 2 is left. And this is going to be whistled dead. Looks like this may be a false start against the Timberwolves. It is, and that's going to go ahead and back him up 5, and that brings it to 2nd and 17.
Not what you wanted to happen if you're the Timberwolves.
No, those 2 plays have killed any type of momentum that you once had.
Yeah, getting that fumble recovery and then the big run to get him within goal to go situation, and all of a sudden push back 7 yards.
You've got to cut the distance in half here. You got to pick up 7 or 8 if you're the Timberwolves. Granville pitches this one out to KJ Clark. Clark just running forward. He's going to get a gain of a few. Yeah, that takes it to the 14-yard line.
Not quite half. It is something. A couple more downs. You got 2 more plays to find the end zone. Forget a field goal. It's not going to.
Yeah.
You need a touchdown here. Kelso ready to go.
Granville's got 5 wideouts. Granville looking deep. He finds his target, and that ball is going to be intercepted. It's intercepted by Caden Mendez.
Yeah, excellent coverage there from Kelso. What a play and what a momentum killer.
Yeah, Granville just tried to force it. He knew he wanted to target McGraw, and it just wasn't there.
All right, well, if you're Heritage, if you're the defense here,
you got to get a quick stop.
Yeah, and we've seen him push back this far too. I mean, safety is certainly not out of the question for this defense.
Owendahl hands this one off to his running back. Running back's going to get a gain of 1. We've got some more dirty laundry lying on the field. It's going to be another either personal foul or unsportsmanlike.
Yeah, one from each side. Looked like they were getting a little too into it after the whistle here. Imagine these will offset, but these guys are on thin ice right now.
All right, so we've got 2nd down and 9.
Another flag tossed on the sideline here.
Looks like it was sideline warning. Owendahl's got Rutherford lined up behind him. Rutherford takes the handoff, tries to bounce outside. He's going to go ahead and pick up a few. That brings up 3rd and 5.
Definitely some extracurricular hoopla going on out there, and both teams feeling the intensity.
Dahl hands this one off. That was Rutherford once again. He was unable to go anywhere.
Quick stop, too, like you were saying, Ryan. Kelso staring down 4th down right now.
Looks like to be 4th and 7.
Deep inside their own territory, too. They're going to need a big punt here. Big punt and a fortunate bounce.
Well, and the way McGraw's been playing tonight, you know he's going to do everything he can to field this and get any extra yards out of it that he can. It's a low-driven punt. It is going to be fielded by McGraw. McGraw runs into a defender right in the middle of the field. There is a flag right at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, great play there from Kelso to attack him quick and really not let McGraw use his speed to get out wide, find an angle.
Yeah, and it is a holding penalty on Heritage. So it looks like this is going to be backed up to what I believe to be the 45.
All right, we've got Granville back in at quarterback here. Heritage looking to get on the board still. 0 for 1 on red zone trips.
Granville hands this one up. Oh, he keeps it. He fooled me. He bounces out to the outside. He's going to get brought down at the close hash mark. Looks like to be a gain of 8. That's going to bring up 2nd and 2. Granville hands this one off to Clark this time. Clark bounces around the outside. He heads downfield. That's going to be a gain of, looks like 8, and that's going to be enough to move the chains. Looks like we've got another injured player down for Kelso.
And a couple flags, too. All sorts of stuff happening out here. At this point, man, let's just get everybody home healthy, right? Like no more injuries. I don't want to see another ambulance. Let's just That's Big Joe White too.
He walks off on his own power. That's a great thing to see. All right, well, as we reset, looks like after everything is said and done, it's 1st and 10, just inside the 15-yard line for the Timberwolves.
Yeah, Heritage back inside the red zone here.
Granville keeps this one. He rolls out to the right side. He finds his target, McGraw.
McGraw goes down right around the 7-yard line.
I think they've marked him right at the 5. But it's not going to be enough for a first down, so that's going to bring up 2nd and inches.
Have to think Granville's either going to keep this one or hand it right off to KJ Clark.
Yeah, he does keep it, and Kelso gets behind the offensive line and brings Granville down. It's like that there was maybe a little bit of miscommunication between Granville and Clark.
Yeah, the whole way you could tell he wanted that one.
So in comes Isaiah James for the Timberwolves.
Juan De Leon as well coming out onto the field. 6:40 left in the fourth quarter. Granville giving it another go on 3rd and 3.
Hands this one off to James. James heads straight downfield. And he pushes his way into the end zone. There is a flag on the play. It looks like we have a hold. So this is going to come back against the Timberwolves. So we're going to go ahead and replay 3rd down, and what was 3rd and 3 and a touchdown is turned into 3rd and 13.
Yeah, Heritage definitely feeling the emotion out there.
They're frustrated. They're frustrated for sure. They're facing, I guess it's 3rd and 12. Granville unable to escape the pocket. He's going to go ahead and get sacked. That brings up 4th down, 4th and long.
Kainoa Feely in the backfield.
Feely's had a great game tonight. We've called his
Both
name
sides of the ball.
several times for tackles. And he's the only 235-pound running back I know.
Yeah, he didn't have a ton of carries, but each one effective.
Yeah, he picked up 4 or 5 yards every single time.
We have 4th down now.
4th and 20.
4th and 20 from the 25. No field goal unit on. Makes sense. Granville with the ball.
Granville steps
Going
up. He
deep.
tries to go deep, trying to find Dakari Bradford. And
Yeah.
that's going to fall incomplete, and it's going to be a turnover on downs.
Again, just miscommunication there maybe. Bradford gave up way too early. That is going to be Kelso ball here. All right, 5 minutes, 30 seconds left in the game. Kelso up 21-0. Heritage with a couple trips inside the 10-yard line, but no points to show for it here.
Owen Dahl hands this one off to Feely. Feely runs downhill. He's going to go ahead and pick up 7. That brings up 2nd and 3. Kelso trying to get their personnel figured out.
Play clock down to 9.
Poor Alex Dieter had to do sprints between the sideline and the huddle about 4 times. And we've got a timeout for Kelso to prevent the delay of game penalty. That's going to be Kelso's final timeout of the night. For Kelso, that's well used. Because if you can get a new set of downs here, that's going to help you manage that much more of the clock.
Definitely.
Rather than taking the penalty, it's 2 and 7.
With 4 minutes, 42 seconds left, this one is starting to feel out of reach for Heritage. It's just a matter of, can they get on the board? Can we make it close? Owen Dahl staying strong, keeping his composure back there, being the backup quarterback and a sophomore. Had one fumble, but been able to stay calm, cool, and collected outside of that.
Well, and he's put in a tough position. I mean, his brother's a starter. He gets hurt. Watch his brother leave in an ambulance with an arm injury. This time he hands it off to Feely. Feely makes the corner. There is a flag in the backfield here. It might negate the run. It does negate the run from Feely. Feely's going to check himself out. This is a hold, so it's going to turn into 2nd and 12.
Yeah, Feely with a little limp here too. Man, Kelso's going to be feeling bruised up by the end of this game. Always feels like a long drive out there too around this time of night, going back home to Kelso. But if you can get that sweet, sweet dub, that win, that makes it that much better.
It certainly does. Dahl fires this one out to the flat. That's to Alex Dieter. Dieter makes the corner, and he's going to get brought down out of bounds. It's right at the 48-yard line. And there's another flag on the play. Things are certainly getting chippy out there tonight.
Yeah, it seems definitely going to set a state record for personal fouls.
Well, we don't know that.
Not officially.
Not officially. It is a shame, though, because what could have been a very, very good game tonight certainly has been marred by some of the laundry that's happened and the injuries and everything else.
You definitely get the feel that this is two juggernaut teams that really, really want to win. And one of them, not being able to get any points on the board, allowing the most points they have this season, definitely feeling the frustration.
Yeah, for sure. So that personal foul is going to be against the Timberwolves. That's going to move the Highlanders into Heritage territory. And it's going to be 1st and 10 from the Heritage 39. Dahl, 5 seconds left on the play clock, takes the snap. He fires one out long to the corner. That's Dieter. Dieter makes the catch. That wasn't Dieter. I am sorry. That is number 11, Caden Mendez, with the touchdown catch. There's a flag on the play.
That was Traylon McGraw that got beat in coverage, too. Pass interference against Heritage.
So that penalty will be declined. The touchdown will stand. And that pushes the score to 27-0 in favor of Kelso. Jay Waddle with his 4th extra point attempt of the evening. Kick is up, and it is good. That pushes the score to 28. Here's the replay. Mendez doing a great job to keep his focus and eye on the ball to bring that one in. It's a great play by that young man.
Yeah, refusing to give up there. And really, really, really putting the exclamation point on this game here. And again, too, if you're Owen Dahl, gotta be feeling pretty good. That's probably your first touchdown pass. That one goes out to Anders for sure.
So the pass interference penalty is going to be assessed on the kickoff. So the Highlanders are going to kick this ball off inside Heritage territory at the 45. McGraw is inside his own end zone, ready to receive. You also have Bradford and Karpiuk standing right around the 10-yard line. And Waddle's just going to go ahead and kick it into the end zone. Heritage is going to start this drive on their own 20. 3:43 remaining left in this one. Timberwolves trailing 0-28, down 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, I'm curious to know what the Columbian predicted score for this is. I would imagine probably not a shutout.
No, it definitely wasn't. They did predict Kelso to win.
All right, Granville back in at quarterback. Shotgun formation, couple receivers. Another pass out wide here.
That was to Daniel. Daniel makes that catch for a gain of 7.
All right, 2nd and 3 here from the 27. Call it 28-yard line.
Granville's got Daniel in the backfield with him. He steps back. He's looking to throw this one. Finds McGraw over the middle. McGraw breaks 1, 2, 3 tackles. He's ultimately going to go ahead and get brought down inside Kelso territory at the 44-yard line.
Big play there, and that one nearly resulted in interception as well. Get a good look at this one.
Yeah, Granville finds McGraw in open space.
Yeah, pretty gutsy pass there. Works out for Heritage.
Granville's looking downfield. He's going to decide to go ahead and keep this one. He makes his way towards the sideline. He's going to get brought down near the first down marker. Looks like he's going to come up a yard short.
Yeah, good tackle there in the open field. Going to limit the damage. It does look like clock will continue to run.
He was tackled in bounds.
Heritage with a couple timeouts. Let's see if they want to spend them or if they are content with the result and walk away here.
Granville rolls out to his left. He fires on the run. Finds Braden Oster. As Oster goes out of bounds, that's going to stop the clock and move the chains.
Granville finding a little rhythm here. Gets out to the 24.
This is really the rhythm that they've been missing all night for Heritage.
Definitely. Yeah, we have not seen a pass here or there, but really I've barely seen a couple plays strung together from the Heritage offense. Looking good this drive, though.
Granville fires out to the out. That goes through the hands of his receiver. Not able to make a completion there.
Kiava Presley Pittman didn't look super prepared for that one. That does stop the clock, though. 2nd down.
.148. Timberwolves trying to prevent a goose egg. And that ball is going to be thrown behind Traylon McGraw. That brings up 3rd and 10.
Yeah, high snap and a ball pretty far outside the white line. Looking at 3rd down and 10 to go. Heritage looking for another trip to the red zone and some red zone redemption after going 0-2 earlier in the game.
Granville decides to keep this one. He makes his run up the middle. He's going to get to the 20-yard line. That's going to bring up 4th and 6. The clock is going to continue to run at this point.
All right, 4th and 7 at the 21. Heritage going to let the clock roll down.
Looks like they'll probably take a timeout here. That's exactly what happens. That's going to stop the clock with 55 seconds left. As Heritage faces 4th and 6. Omar Ramirez makes his way onto the field. Heritage is going to go ahead and attempt a field goal.
Traylon McGraw really having a hard time here accepting the result, too. Definitely gave it his all out there. Pretty much 47 of the 48 minutes. Good look at the Kelso Highlanders taking home a win tonight.
So this is going to turn out to be a 38-yard field goal attempt for the senior Omar Ramirez. And that field goal is going to be blocked. Kaepernick sprints to recover to prevent a touchdown. And Kelso's going to take the ball over at the 49-yard line.
And they do keep the shutout intact here as well.
So Kelso does have to run one play. They've got to run 9 seconds off the clock before they can just kneel it out.
Almost expect a couple knees here, right? If Heritage was content just letting the clock run out last drive. See how this goes here. And that's what Kelso elects to do.
And they're going to have to run at least one more. So unfortunately, there's a lot of firsts tonight for the Heritage Timberwolves. And unfortunately, they're not great things. First time they've allowed more than 14 points in a game. First time that they've been shut out this season. But they still got a strong season. They're sitting 6-1. Still sitting in a good spot. Number 2 in the 3A league standings. So I mean, they've got to work. They've got to bounce back and you know, get back to their ways next week.
Sure. Yeah, this one from the get-go seemed a little off. Hopefully we get to see how Heritage responds next week. But again, this is two teams that really wanted the win tonight, and one of them was going to go home unhappy. That's just the way it works. So.
Well, that's it for McKenzie Stadium tonight. Final score: Kelso Highlanders 28, Heritage High School Timberwolves 0. We will be here next week. Looking forward to seeing you guys and hearing from you. Have a great week. I'm Ryan Vassbinder for Kyle Bleeke. Have a great night.